Welcome to another episode of Homework Workouts.
Welcome to another episode of Homework Workouts.
Welcome to another episode of Homework Workouts.
Welcome to another episode of Homework Workouts. Let's get started. Alright, for the general warm-up, you're going to need a set of bottles. Something you can hold in each hand that has equal amount of weight. That's very important. Now, we have 4 different movements. I have Edward and Sanne here to show you all 4. Let's have a look at the movements and possible scaling options you might need to use. So, our first movement is going to start in an A-frame. So at home, if you're practicing with us, go for it. You start in a high A-frame or downward dog with the heels, in this case, off the floor. And then alternating, we're going to push the heels down, right in the floor, left in the floor. So we just keep alternating to actively warm up the calves, which is a great way of getting warmed up. You're also warming up the hamstrings. Even the lower back gets a nice opening up, but specifically we're trying to work the calves here. Great guys, let's stand up. Now we do 24 reps of that in the actual warming up. The second movement that has 12 reps, which is half, is the double bottle loo raise. So you have your bottles, positioning wise very simple. You stand tall, you have your arms in front of you with the palms facing inwards. Then you're going to rotate and pull overhead in a big circle and end with the palms facing outwards. Good. Then you come back down in front of you without touching and you come back overhead again. And this is 2 reps. And this is a very big range of motion. And you want to try to keep the shoulders pinched down throughout doing the repetitions here, 12 reps. If this is too hard for you with the weight you have, instead of going for a smaller range of motion, I want you to just ditch the bottles and do it without. Nice job, guys. If the shoulder hurts, you can always decrease range of motion if you feel the necessity to do so. Now, our third movement is without the bottles, and we did this one before, but it's a very good warm-up movement for the hips. It's going to be a backstab lunge, and then when we come back up, we're going to lift up the knee nice and high. So they're going to start off with the right leg at home as well. You step back, touch the floor, come up, boom, push the knee in, like you want to uppercut somebody at the chin. Here we go. Imagine that big dude in the alley that's trying to attack you. What do when you give him a knee? You first do a backstab lunge, and then you give him the knee. Here we go. Beautifully done. Now, let's say that you have an injury that's not allowing you to do all that bending of the knee, all that flexion because it's hurting so much. In that case, you want to do a woodpecker, and then in the end of the woodpecker, you still add that knee lift so you can still practice that dark alley situation. So, Sanne's going to do that here. She's going to do that woodpecker, and when she comes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, lift the knee in. There's your uppercut. Here we go. Other side as well. We alternate the legs, guys, when we do the woodpecker, but also in the lunge to make it 6 repetitions in total. We went from 24 to 12 to 6. What do we have left? 3 reps if you guys do the math with me. The last one will be the inchworm. Edward and Sanne are both going to start with their feet underneath the hips, arms reach down. I'm going to walk out the arms. And it's very simple, guys. Until you reach the point where you're still in control, you can keep walking out, you maintain control, you walk back up, you drive your butt into the ceiling and your heels towards the floor. And that's considered 1 rep. Let's do another rep, guys. And while they're going through this, the idea is this. You go as far forward as you possibly can while maintaining tension in the core and in the belly and being in control. In Sanne's case, that means arms stay right underneath the shoulder. In Edward's case, that means arms go all the way out as far as he can because he has strong control there off the core. Okay, so we just showed you all 4 of the movements, some scaling options if you need to use those. We're going to set an 8-minute timer. You can use the SmartWatt app. Here it is. Or we use our Rogue timer to do it. It's set at 8 minutes. We go from 24 of the A-frame calf pushdowns into 12 reps of the loo raise with the bottles. So still keep your bottles in there. And we do 6 reps of the backstab lunge plus the knee lift, and we end around with 3 inchworms. It's not about how many rounds. It's about getting a good warm-up in and aiming for quality because you cannot win this thing, guys. Okay, they're going to do a round with you guys, and then you guys are going to continue. I'm going to set the timer. We start in 10 seconds. If you want to go to that A-frame, start hitting it right away. You're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So 24 reps it is. It doesn't have to be fast. I'll count out the rhythm. It's going to be like a 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do that, the set will take exactly 24 seconds. Here you go. That is nice. Keep really pressing that heel into the floor, and maybe over the course of reps and rounds, you might get your heel closer to the floor, specifically when you're not such a flexible person. And since they started on the 0, they probably are almost done with that. Then they move on to the bottles. They start in front with the palms facing. At home as well, keep your bottles facing in the bottom position. And in the end position there, keep the bottles facing outwards. So from inwards to outwards with the hand. In the top position, make sure the upper part of your hand is touching. There we go, that's nice. So we actually work from a neutral position in the shoulder towards internal rotation in the top. If that sounds very technical, just make sure the palms face inwards in the bottom and face outwards in the top. It's a great way of working stabilization of overhead positions, which is always good to do in the warm-up. 12 reps it is. It will give you a good burn, even when you're using, a liter flask of a cleaner, like we're doing right here. But if you have your 2-liter Coca-Cola bottles in there, it's going to be tough to do, guys. It's going to be a tough one. Just go through all 12, and then after 12, you put the bottles down. You start on the 6 reps, alternating of back step lunge plus hit the big man in the alley. Here we go. Try to stay nice and upright. Really drag that leg forward and then hit it up nice and high. And try to stay upright when you do that knee lift. Don't lean towards the knee with the upper body. I want you guys to stay nice and upright. And you end the round with doing 3 nice inchworms. Now they're probably going to do a little over 2 minutes for a round, just time-wise. That means in that 8-minute time frame, they're not going to make it through 4 rounds. So you're aiming to do 3 rounds would be great in this 8-minute warm-up here. Good job, guys. Let's keep going. Finish that round with 3 inchworms. Beautifully done. In the middle, just standing up for a second helps you with keeping your heart rate under control. Nice. Your favorite holiday movement. Inchworm. Always your favorite holiday movement. I need you guys to continue for whatever's left on the clock. Boom, we just did a little over 2 minutes. You guys keep going and press pause. Okay, for the second portion of today's session, I need you guys to go along with us because they don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what you're going to do, or you read everything in the description that you do know what we're going to do. That's on a side note. I'm going to talk you guys into this one right away. We're going to do 3 rounds in a 3-minute time frame. Does that mean what? A 9-minute EMOM. So quickly, take your smartwatch app, set your timer at an EMOM timer for 9 intervals of 1 minute. I have the rogue timer set as well. We're going to start off in a plank. So make sure you can go to the floor. You either choose elbows or you choose hands. I'll talk you all into this. And what we're going to do in that plank is we're going to reach out and either touch an object or just reach out as far as possible. And we do that for 20 alternating reps. We didn't start yet, but I like you guys being in the plank there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So at home as well, you're in the plank. You're reaching forward, but it's very important to me you keep your shoulders in spot. I don't want you to shrug your shoulders to your ears. You're trying to keep your tension. You have your feet close together to make it difficult. You lift up the arm, reach it forward, and reach for an object that's standing there. So what's going to happen is you're going to automatically shift to the side a bit, and I need you to fight that. Widening the stance of the legs makes it slightly easier if you feel like you need to break up the plank, then preferably widen the legs a bit. If you want to challenge yourself, go for a narrow stance. Either elbows or feet is fine. They did this in approximately 35 seconds. The good thing of this warm-up is in the next movement you can go right on the belly because we start doing a Superman hold. And they'll start a bit earlier to show you what that is. And everything is going to be with the belly facing down today, so that's easy in this EMOM. So the second interval will be Superman hold. Legs are going to be together and arms forward in 3, 2, 1, shaboom. And we hold this baby for 30 seconds. If that means that you need to take a break, then you take a break and then you're still going to finish the full 30 seconds in that minute of time you have. Now Sana's having a very hard time here, so I need her to scale down by bringing her legs to the floor. And still focusing on lifting up that chest, using the lower back, but also squeezing her glutes so she can actually use the glutes as well there instead of just the lower back. So I'm going to count them down because they're doing this unbroken here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for you guys. So we are still in this time frame. If you need to break up the Superman and still need to finish it, I do want you to finish it. We're already going to set up for our third movement in this 3-round, 3-minute EMOM. So 9 in total, which is the child pose. You're going to sit in your feet. You're going to make sure your knees are outside of the hips, so the knees are slightly pushed outwards. You're going to sit back, and you're going to reach forward with the arms. And we're going to do a 30-second child pose here with the arms reach forward as far as possible. Face pinch down in 3, 2, 1. So at home as well, you want to literally surrender into this movement here. You want to just relax and lay down. Now what I just learned a week or 2 ago is that if you change your hand positioning by having your thumbs pointing upwards, and your pinkies pointing into the floor, so your hands are open up, and then you press down, you can also stretch the lats a tiny bit more in the child pose. So you can opt for this one, or just opt for the palms facing down. I'm okay with both. Again, you can hold this one for 30 seconds without stopping. There's no necessity to stop this one. So just keep this one going for 30 seconds. That means we're done right now. That's good, guys. So I need you guys to set up and do this for 2 more rounds, or 2 more rounds of 3 minutes where you got to get the work in. Good luck and press pause. Okay, it's time to get ready for a beautiful 11-minute EMRAP with some pressing, some squatting, and some jumping in there. Now let's have a look at the 3 movements you need to be able to do today to join in this workout. Obviously, we're going to give you some scaling options to do as well. Now, first, have a look at the first movement, which is a classic push-up. We start in that plank, which we actually warmed up for pretty damn good. Now in this plank, you're going to lower your chest and hips towards the floor and press back up. Boom, elbows stay close to the body. Let's get a couple of reps in there, guys. I like how they're both going down and up as a true plank instead of snaking that thing. Now, if you want to scale this one, if you have any elevation of an object, you can use that, but you can also, just stay there on the knees, you're good now. You can also just go on the knees. And then when you go on the knees and do your reps there, I want you to connect your knees to your shoulder, as in you're still making a plank there. Let's get a couple of reps there, Sanna. That's looking good. So she's still making a full plank from knee to hip, from hip to shoulder, instead of from making it from her feet towards your shoulder. Very important. Now, if you have an elevated object, in that case, you can actually get one. And we have a chair here. Wow. You can grab the chair, place it on there. You're going to now make a full plank again. Place your hands, get rid of the pillow, and then suddenly you start doing your push-ups there. Beautifully done. I'm going to hold on to that chair. That's good. This is good, man. All right, so those are the push-ups. Now let's assume, for just the simple fact that Sanna has an injury in the shoulder or in the wrist that is not allowing her to do all of that pressing. Today we want to opt for something that is still upper body dominant, but then we throw in a pull. So we grab the back we already need for a front squat, and we do bend over rows with the back. So you're going to set up yourself in a hinged position. So you're going to sit back. From there, you're going to pull up that thing, elbows go up and back, and you gently do lower. And you're going to make just 10 quick bend over rows to lift up the upper back and the lats before moving on to the second movement. Hey, let's have a look at that second movement. What is it? It is the front squat with the back. Now what you want to do is the bottles you had from the loo races in the warm-up, you throw that in the bag. You get some coffee, you throw that in the bag. You get some piepschuim, you throw that in the bag. Then you grab the bag, and you hold it firmly against the chest, you get your squatting stance in, and you start just sinking the hips down. We're then going to do a couple of reps here, and I'm going to give you guys my 4 favorite points of performance for the squat. Point performance number 1. Heels, big toe, little toe, always in contact with the floor throughout the squats. Number 2, knees are tracking the toes. Number 3, sit your butt on your heels. Number 4, stay upright. Those are the 4 things we're looking for here. Beautifully done. Now Sanna's going to hold on to the back, Edward's going to drop it. And Sanna's going to show you what to do if you have an injury in the knee. You're going to change your squatting stance to a deadlifting kind of stance. You're going to soften the knees here. Soft. Now she's going to tilt from the hip, sitting back, squeezing her hamstrings on the way down, squeezing her butt on the way up. And then we have good morning instead of squats. Still taxing the lower body more than the upper body here, which is ideal in that second movement, but not having the knees having that much travel, so you can actually move away from knee pain here. Beautifully done. Now our third movement is going to tell us to get the back on the floor, because we're going to jump over the back laterally. Let's both start on the left side of the back. If you're practicing at home, also start on the left side. Now the little rule here is you jump over to the other side, yay, and you jump back, yay. And you can do it fast or slow. Whoa, this is pretty damn fast. And if you have an injury or you don't want to jump because of living in an apartment building with multiple floors, people living below you at 6 a.m. in the morning, you're doing this, you can also kind of speed skate over the back, yay. And if you do that, I need you to stay low, so your legs get a very good pump, right? If this still hurts, you move away from the back and you start doing the Backstreet Boy, which is this one. Boom. I want it that way. Tell me why. Okay, so we are gonna get started with the actual workout. You are also gonna get started with the actual workout. I need you guys to join us in this one. I'm gonna repeat the rep scheme. It's an 11-minute EMRAP. You wanna set your smartwatch timer for that with 10 of the push-ups, scale wisely, then 15 of the front squats, and then 20 of the lateral jumps. The idea is through the front squats unbroken, through the lateral jumps pacing, so you're going to choose your pace there as something you can do quickly. And then the 10 push-ups, it's okay if you have to break that once. If you have to break it twice, I want you to go for a different scaling option there, okay? If you want to load up the push-ups, you can also use the same backpack for the front squats on the back to make your push-ups just a tiny bit harder. That's a good challenge as well. Now they're going to do a round with you guys, so let's all get ready here. We start in 10 seconds with 10 push-ups. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good time. Here we go, 10 nice and quick push-ups. The entire body is coming down to the floor. We try to press up firmly, and gentlemen, hit your lockout please, okay? You want to have big triceps, so need the lockout to work there. Then boom, back comes off the back, you start on the front squats. Beautifully done there. And again with the squats guys, heels and toes connected to the floor, big toe, little toe. The knees are tracking the toes properly here. The hips are going right onto your heels, and you sit as upright as you possibly can while doing this. Beautiful front squats, 15 reps. Although the back can be light, 15 reps with this loaded squat is still going to give you a good quad burn. And that is exactly what we're looking for today. And they're going to make the jumps interesting here. Let's get 20 jumps in. The son is doing the speed skater, just trying to stay low, get a good quad pump here. Ed is doing the touch and go variation of the lateral jump, which goes very fast, but it also gets your heart rate through the roof, just within 20 reps in total. Good. So the round for Ed took about a minute with the faster jumps. Sana took about 5 seconds longer with the speed skater style. I know they're going to slow down, but let's see if somebody's going to do 2 rounds in this. Good luck and press pause.